Hello, my sweet friends. I hope you all are doing fabulous today. I'm doing 3 carrot DIYs for spring. To start my project, I will be using these 2 fence pieces from the Dollar Tree, taking the tags off and the jute cord hanger in the back, and I'm going to give it 1 coat of the Rust-Oleum chalk paint in linen white. I am going to leave the fence at that. I'm not going to distress them, nothing like that. I wanted that kind of, the storybook white picket fence, and that's why I'm just going to leave it alone and keep it white. Next, I'm going to grab 2 of these crates from the Dollar Tree, and I decided to paint them gray. I had this black chalk paint on hand that's kind of drying out, so I'm just going to grab some of that black and white and just mix it around until I come up with the right color. And you'll see that I'm going to have a lot of paint on there, but that's okay, you guys. I did save the paint at the end of the day when I was done mixing all of it. I gave both crates 1 coat of the gray paint. I painted 3 of the sides. I just did not paint the sides that are going to be touching next to each other. And then I did go inside the crate just a little bit, maybe 1/4 of an inch. I always do this even though I know that area is going to be covered. But when you're dealing with covering it with moss or with something like that, I just like it to look professional more or less, and that's why I do that. Next, I'm going to do one of my favorite things. I'm going to distress the crates just a little bit by grabbing my Rust-Oleum chalk paint in linen white. And the way I do this is I grab the shabbiest brush I have on hand, and this one just happens to be from the Dollar Tree, I believe. And what I do is I get a tiny bit of paint on the brush, and the most important thing is I just dab it on a napkin. When you do this, the napkin soaks up that kind of like the biggest moisture, and all you have is that leftover paint, and it's perfect when you're trying to dry brush, and you can control if you want more or less in the area because you're not dealing with that wet paint. So that little napkin is really the secret to a beautiful dry brush result. Now I'm just going to glue both of my pieces together, and I'm using high temperature hot glue gun. That way it's a nice strong seal. Next thing, I'm grabbing my picket fence, and as you see, I'm dabbing the hot glue on that bottom layer below the second ledge, and I'm just hot gluing it straight to my little container. And as you can see, my fence is all the way to the left. My left fence is going to be all the way to the right. So the gap in between is actually going to match the gaps in the fence. But we are going to camouflage it a little bit at the end, so you're not going to see the fact that there is no crossbars in between the fences. For extra security, I did go back and just dabbed right in between the fences, just so there's extra glue holding the fence to my little crates. For space fillers in the crates, I'm going to use up this raffia, and this raffia is really dry and kind of brittle. When it gets to a point where I can't even make a bow out of raffia, that is too dry for me. So that's why I decided to use it as a little filler. I'm going to fill up as much as I can of the raffia, up to maybe like 90% of the crate, and then I'm going to leave room to put in some Spanish moss. Now I'm grabbing 6 of these Dollar Tree carrots, and I'm going to plant 3 in each crate. After doing that, I realized there wasn't enough Spanish moss, so I got more pieces and covered that middle section and all the edges. Next, I need to camouflage in between 2 of my fence pieces, and also that white fence did need some greenery on it. So what I did is I found this long kind of greenery piece in the spring florals, and I'm going to get 3 of them and just put 1 right there in between the 2 fence pieces. And doesn't that cover it really well? And then just 1 on both of the fences, and it kind of looks like something's growing behind the carrots. To complete the project, I'm grabbing this polka dot grosgrain ribbon, and I'm just going to put it right across the center of my crates, and it's going to look like someone just painted these cute little polka dots on this little carrot planter. Today's video is part of the Carrots Galore Hop, and if you don't know how hops work, all you have to do is watch this video and then click on the link in the description box below, hop on over to the next person, and then that person will also have a link, and you hop on over to the next person. After you hop and commented on everyone's video, that is your entry to win the $60 gift card from Amazon. For this project, I will be using this give thanks sign from the Dollar Tree, and I decided to do something different to fill in the little holes where the little hanger used to be. I just decided to just fill it in with glue gun, and I thought it was a good idea, but let me tell you guys, I think I'm going to be back to speckling next time. I played around with it a little bit too much. So I did smooth it out, sand it out, and then I'm going to give my little board 2 coats of Rust-Oleum chalk paint in linen white. For this next step, you are going to need a piece of fabric that's on the thicker side. So you could use felt maybe. I'm going to be using a recycled fabric swatch, and it has like a velvet texture to it. But the most important thing is it is 9 inches by 9 inches. Next, I'm grabbing the bigger carrots from the Dollar Tree, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue 2 of them together, and then the third one I'm going to glue in between them, but that one's going to go just a little bit lower, so it kind of looks like a beautiful bouquet. The corner where I have damage on my piece of fabric, I'm going to fold it behind, and I fold it about 2 inches in. And then I'm just kind of testing out where I want the fabric to lay. Now I'm hot gluing the carrots in place onto my fabric. And then what I'm doing is I'm grabbing the fabric about 2 inches from the corners from the side, and I'm just bringing them towards the middle. And then when I feel like it's in the right place, I'm hot gluing one side and then the other. Now I'm grabbing some grosgrain ribbon, and where I felt the bow should go, I'm just kind of putting a little strand and hot gluing it to the back of my bouquet. Next, I'm just making a simple bow out of grosgrain, and I'm sorry it's a little bit towards the bottom of the screen, but I do like to use needle and thread when it comes to my bows. I make a simple bow, I put a needle and thread through the center, and then with that thread, I'm just wrapping it around the center of the bow. That way it gets it really nice and tight, and these little grosgrain bows, all of a sudden they kind of, it sounds funny, but they kind of come to life when you do that, because now they're pinched in the middle, so the bows are not going to lay flat, they're going to be perfect. After I'm done with my bow, I'm hot gluing it to the ribbon that I have on my bouquet. Using pearl stickers that I get at Walmart, I'm just grabbing one and gluing it to the center of the bow. To decorate the plaque itself, I'm grabbing a Q-tip and I'm just putting polka dots all around the edges. And that is it for this project. Now we're going to do such a cute and easy DIY. You guys will love this one. I'm grabbing a little vase from the Dollar Tree, and then this sand that I'm pouring, that is also from the Dollar Tree. And I'm going to pour it not all the way because we need to put florals in before I fill it up all the way to the end. I think the orange works really well with this beautiful larkspur flower because it's a gorgeous purple. And by the way, this is the first time my Dollar Tree got it. I don't think they had it last year, but this flower is absolutely stunning. And I'm just cutting down the green stems about 5 to 6 inches. Now I'm just putting the florals in my vase, and I used 10 stems of this lilac flower for this bouquet. Now grabbing some sharp skewers. I got these from the bigger carrots that I used in a previous project, and I'm just putting the carrots straight onto the skewer and then into the bouquet. To complete our sweet little vase, I'm grabbing some Farmhouse buffalo check ribbon. I'm just wrapping it around the vase and making a little simple bow, and I wanted the tails to hang off a little bit, but of course this bow was not cooperating, so I did use a little bit of hot glue to put my bows where I want them, because the loops did not want to stay in place, and for that matter neither did the tails. So I used hot glue wherever I felt like it needed and put everything in place. Next, I'm cutting the little tails on an angle, and I'm finishing it up by putting more sand into the vase. I hope you enjoyed these carrot DIYs. Let me know down below which one was your favorite. And if you're not subscribed to my channel, please consider subscribing, hitting the bell and the thumbs up button. Before you hop on over to the next person in the hop, don't forget to comment on my video and on everyone else's videos so you could be entered in the Amazon $60 gift card giveaway. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye guys!